How about now, guys? I think you should be able to hear me now. Okay. Alrighty. Sounds good. Yep, I switched microphones again. Okay, so back again at the top here. Hi, Zona. Hi, Vivian. Hi, Laura. Hi, Mina. Hi, Mellow Yellow. Hi, Estella. So glad everybody can be here tonight. Hi, Michelle. So, tonight we are working on a steampunk raven, which is what everybody was kind of wanting to do last time. It was either steampunk raven or a steampunk peacock. So, I've been working on these patterns for like the week, and I think I have a couple good options here. I'm just thinking that I'll probably start with the eye area, and I just want to make sure that you guys can see, so I'll zoom out a little bit here. All right, I'm going to move me a little bit more out of the way. Okay, I think that'll work, guys. Okay. He is a crazy looking bird, isn't he? I guess I'll zoom out, so if you guys haven't seen, I guess you saw it on Patreon, but yeah, he's a fancy little guy. I like his hat, and I think this is going to be a fun project with lots of different textures. So let's go ahead and zoom back in, and we'll just dive right in here to the kind of like the eye area. Let me make sure that we stay in focus. Okay. So I'll probably start with the eye and get that in there first. And then we'll just kind of expand out from there. How does that sound? Okay. Hi, Cynthia. We are just getting started here on our bird. And I will kind of go around the highlights here and see what we can do to outline the eye. Anytime you have a curved line like this, definitely it helps to kind of turn the wood as you go. But we'll just be really careful here. Hi, Helen. All right. Then I'm going to go around the highlight within the eye. Yeah, both of these projects, the Raven and the Peacock, are both a little bit intricate. So I think there'll be a lot of different fun textures to try. All right, so there's his shiny eye with a little bit of a highlight. And I'll probably soften that highlight here in just a little bit. And then we're going to go kind of around. There's a little bit of a light circle around the eye, and there's some bumps. So I'm going to add in some bumps as I go. And then we're quite dark towards the top. I hope everybody is trying to stay cool out there in our summer heat. First day of August, that's pretty amazing. That we are in our 8th month of the year. It seems like summer just got started and now the kids are going back to school here in a couple weeks. Hi, Larry. Kitty. So we're just kind of working on building the structure of the eye. And a lot of this up here is still in shadow. And I'm just kind of burning around like these little highlight bumpy things around the raven's eye. All right. Next we have kind of some wispy feathers, but if you just kind of treat them like you would burn fur, it'll work. It's pretty similar. So I'm putting those in pretty light to begin with, and then we can make them darker as we go. It's over 90 up here today, so it's pretty toasty, especially without any air conditioning, and we don't have any wind outside right now, so it's pretty toasty here in the house. And some of these little wispy feathers, you can probably scratch in and clean up a little bit if you overburn them. I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a pre-sketch, a little pre-burn here to get the direction and all that going. Cynthia, it's 95 and humid in Maryland. Oh dear. Hi, Desiree. Yeah, it's pretty toasty most everywhere. Whew. Whew. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to some cooler weather. Not quite ready for winter though. We have too much work to do for winter. Desiree, you had a heat index of 100. Oh dear. Hi, Angela. How are you doing tonight? We've been missing you. I hope that your summer is going well. Mina says it's 98 there, but not too humid. That's good that it's not humid. It's not humid here either. We have very, very dry heat. right, his little face is coming along pretty well. Kitty! I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit so I don't overburn some of the area of the eye. Desiree says, I don't think we've ever done a steampunk theme before. We have not. This is our first steampunk design, and I love it. I don't see Steve here yet, but when he gets here, if he gets here tonight, we'll talk to him about, he mentioned a steampunk, what's it called? The Bigfoot, the Sasquatch, a steampunk Sasquatch. So I've been working on one of those too. I don't know that that'll be one of our projects, but it's kind of fun to think about. So just a lot of blocking in of areas here with the dark. Angela, summer is good and hot, 101 there. Oh dear. Yeah, it sounds like here we're supposed to get some weather coming in over the weekend, and then for like the next week we should have at least a chance of thunderstorms. Hopefully it brings more rain than lightning. So this is just kind of rough blocking in of these areas. Let's see if we can't clear that up. That's a little bit better. Kind of rough blocking in. Our values are not quite as dark as what we need, but we'll richen them up here in a little bit. Mallow Yellow says it's very humid in Nova Scotia. Your air is like hot soup. Oh dear. I don't think I've ever heard that analogy before, but yeah, that's sounds pretty unpleasant. Hot soup. Oof. Laura, you're finally at a decent temperature today, not in the 90s, and humid, which was a relief. Good, very good. Desiree says, put it up as one of the downloadable patterns. You're talking about the Steampunk Sasquatch. Yes. I've got so many things that I've got going on. I've added a lot of new patterns for those that haven't been here for a little bit. There's a bunch more patterns on Woodburning University, and a bunch of mandala themed designs. So I'm about done finishing those up and getting those uploaded, and then I will start loading some more of the steampunk themed ones because I think that's pretty cool. This isn't the best angle here, but I'll kind of rough it in a little bit. Mina says, he looks like a true gentleman. I agree. I like his little hat and glasses. Have fun with the dogs, Cynthia, and the chickens. Vivian says it was 93 in Florida. Wow, but now it's 76, but with like a lot of humidity. Yikes. Alrighty. Just kind of roughing in some of these dark patches here. I'm kind of running out of good angles to work on. I'm gonna have to turn the wood on this project, guys. It's has a lot of intricate details, and these curves are gonna take me a little while to be able to burn evenly. I'm gonna move that just a little bit. That will rough in the hat. I forgot to sand them down before I started burning. I usually do that, but everything is pretty dark and high contrast, so I think we'll be okay. right, still some more sketching here. Yeah, lots of heat. I think the heat is in full swing here across the US and Canada areas. All right, I'm gonna go back and add in another layer and make some of these areas a bit darker. There is a little bit of a highlight kind of back in here behind where the hat ducks behind his head. So we'll try to make sure that we get that in place. I'm going to kind of go back over where we burned and touch it up and push it just a little bit darker. The hummingbirds are very thirsty as well. I've been filling their feeders significantly. Here, it seems like in the last week, we have 6 big feeders that we put out, and I've been filling all 6 at least once a day. So they're getting lots of good liquid because everything here is so dry from when the sheep went through. There's not much for them to eat, but they sure like it here. Of course, we feed them all the time. So we might have to employ a little bit of a scratching technique for some of these really wispy hairs if we want them to be more fine. Okay. All right, I'm going to jump around a little bit here and put in some elements of the hat just because I don't want to turn the wood more than I need to for you guys. I'm going to move me again. Whee. Okay. Yeah, we have all kinds of different textures and shapes on this project. It's going to be really fun. So a little bit of outlining right now, but it's all going to be fairly light and kind of delicate. A little triangle of shading. And I'll just burn as much as I can from this angle, and then we'll switch. Ah, the wood. That didn't work very well. All right. I know, it's toasty, huh, Sophie? Larry, you like the hat? Awesome, I do too. He's a fancy feathered fellow. All right. So let's turn this a little bit so that we can kind of finish up his beak and all that. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to move me again. I'm just like always in the way, so I'm going to just move me. Desiree, you like the steampunk stuff too. I think it's really neat. There's so many different intricate details to them. Jezzer, you've never tried to burn it though. It seems too complicated. Yeah, there's a lot there, that's for sure. A lot of little things. And just break those little things down into little pieces, parts, and I bet we'll make it work. So I'm gonna burn kind of a shadow inside this eyepiece. Mina, am I burning on basswood? Yes, I am. It does have live edge on the side. So when I zoom out, you should be able to see it. And my burner's at high heat, full temp, like normal. And let's see, we have a nice little highlight up here. It can be so difficult to get these edges really round. What size is the basswood? The reference, the pattern is 6.5 inches wide by 11 inches tall. If you go too much smaller than that, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult for the fine details, I would imagine. Because this is kind of dainty as it is. Just reburning some of our shadows. All right. I'm not holding my breath on these lines, but almost. They're quite quite tricky here. So burning right next to that other dark line to give kind of a light edge here. Yeah, holding your breath can definitely help with some of these little fine lines. All right. Okay, I don't want to burn too much here because I don't want to get ghosting over in that area, and that part of the wood is pretty toasty right now. So I'm going to jump around a little bit more. Desiree, you purse your lips a lot. Yeah. This is a project that would look kind of interesting with a brightly painted background or something. I don't know what I'll do with the background, but I think it could be potentially pretty cool for a lot of different things. I need some sanding paper. Got my stuff everywhere. Thanks, Mina, for the reminder to hit the like button. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So we're putting in some wispy feather furs here with the upper tip of the shading point. And then we can kind of go back through and darken them up a little bit. Alrighty, we'll kind of keep building up on that. Pull a little shading across the beak. Okay, so we're getting there. So he has a little bit of an interesting texture on the hat. So if you want to make it easy, just kind of smooth it out and do smooth shading, or you can do a little bit of like wiggle worm technique to kind of add, it looks like a little bit of a leathery kind of a texture. Hi, Terry. We've missed you. We're glad that you're here. Glad that things are coming together for your art room. We've been praying for your doggy. Yeah, there's always so much to do, huh, guys? Especially selling and moving and all that. My goodness. So I did just some circular motion there to add a little bit of texture to the hat. And then you can even do like some stippling and the wiggle worm technique to kind of break this up here a little bit. Absolutely, Desiree. Moving is definitely a pain in the tuchus. Yeah, we've done our share part of moving too. It sure takes it out of you. Oh, very good that your puppy dog is doing better. That's good. So some stippling and a little bit of wiggle worm technique here. But if that's too much and it's kind of a small space, just turn it into like a shiny leather hat and it'll be much simpler. So I might change that up here because it's a little bit of a pain. All right, let's add a nice soft bit of shading on this eyepiece. Okay, we have some interesting textures along here. I don't know. I might start taking out a little bit of this texture because I think it'll go faster if I do. Some dots around the edge here I think will be pretty cool. Glad that you're liking your new area, Terry. Oh. All right, we're getting there, guys. So as I burn the lip of the hat, I want to keep a little bit of a highlight on either side. Your puppy dog is very good to take eye drops, Terry. Very glad to hear she's doing better. Alright, let's go back over the lip of the hat and darken it up a little bit. Oh, very good, Terry. So what's everybody working on right now? Oh, these headphones are kind of toasty. It's nice in the winter, but it's a little bit toasty right now. So as the hat kind of curves around, I'm going to take off a little bit of that highlight at the top and kind of curve it down. All right. Terry, you're working on your art room. Desiree is working on kind of a ghost portrait. That sounds interesting. Larry finished the piece Into the Wild, and you're pleased with it. Very good. Yep, post it. Mina, you're still working on a big commission. Very good. I don't know if I'm going to put in this texture on the hat. I might just make it smooth. But for that rounded appearance, I'm going to go a little bit darker on this side and a little darker on the back side, and then we'll blend it out and make it lighter in the middle. Larry, you've started the Country Barn and Stormy Sky. Good. I can't wait to see how that one turns out. Helen, you finished a portrait of your grandson's new rescue kitty. Oh, I saw that one. It's so cute. And then you'll start on the Steampunk Raven. Cool. So question, guys, after we do the Steampunk Raven, do you want to do the Steampunk Peacock, or do you want to switch to something else? Because it was pretty close on the voting as far as which project that we did tonight. Okay, and then now that we have our curvature on both sides, we're going to just make it a little bit lighter across the middle. Vivian, you're working on an anniversary portrait of a couple. Cool. Desiree, you have to be the strong one. Yeah. Laura is finishing up on the Greenfield Strong plaque and then on to coasters. That sounds fun. Desiree says you're okay with the peacock design. Vivian says yes. Laura says yes for the peacock. Hi, Cap Sahari. Works for you as well for the peacock. Mina says the peacock is lovely. Cool. So here we have just lots of these little feathery type fan-shaped pieces. Estella says yes, the peacock. Okay. Sounds like that is the consensus. That's a pretty picture too. Michael, you say the peacock? Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that'll be a fun project. Estella says the details are different than this one. Yes, I agree that they are both unique in their own right. That the peacock is going to have a lot of like hard edges. This one has quite a few too, but that peacock will especially be a great exercise in hard edges. So after we get kind of the structure of these little dotty tidbits in there, I'm going to kind of shade a little bit on the sides and make it look a little bit more rounded and softer. And some more layering on the feather fluffs. I've got my burner pointed really quite steep on this one so I can get more of like a scratchy, kind of an indented texture. Problem is it doesn't transfer much heat, so it takes quite a while to build up layering if you just use the upper tippy tip of the point. Whew. Stella, the hat looks good like that. Cool. Yeah, I think it'll work well. I might even darken it up on the edges a little bit. I think that'll stand out better. And this is another really good project for working on abstract pieces parts, because there's so many things that he has ornamenting him that it's like it doesn't really look like anything in particular. So you can be a little bit more abstract with some of the little embellishments of him. The cogs, the gears, the little brass tidbits here and there are a little bit more abstract in nature, which is pretty cool. So don't feel like you have to follow it exactly. It can be however you want to make it. Okay. So we'll do a little bit more in here. But it's going to take some time to kind of build up some of the darker areas around his beak fluff. So I'll just kind of start layering it in and then we'll move on. Terry says you love crows, but you've never seen one so well dressed. I agree. He is a fancy little fellow. Okay. All right, let's turn this over and kind of take a look here. Everything is malfunctioning. Okay. There we go. That's looking better. I'm going to move me again. All right, well, that's cool. I like this smooth, shiny hat, I think, better than the textured hat. He's got kind of like a little pattern on the hat, but I think we'll just keep it more simple. Okay. Alrighty then, let's see. We're gonna start down the neck a little bit more. Maybe I'll come on this side so you can see there. Okay. So I do have the little Pro Point plugged in as well. And that'll help to put in some of the, especially the really dark areas of his chest and tail feathers. But I can probably put in some of these nice lines here as well with that point. Okay. Yeah, see, I completely messed up that line, but that's okay. It's abstract. We'll just go with it. It's fine. So this part of his chin and upper chest is all pretty ornate. So we can kind of go with some heavier lines and it'll still look fine. Ornate is the word. Yep, that's a good word. Boy, that grain is messing with me. I'm trying to get curved lines and all I can really do is straight ones right there. I think I'm pressing down a little bit too hard. So we'll lighten the pressure and that should make those lines a little bit more cooperative. That's better. Hi, Steve. We were mentioning earlier that I've been working on steampunk designs the past week, and I've come up with some steampunk Sasquatch ideas. I know that you were thinking about that, so I've been working on those too. Alright, so there's kind of some of our structure feathers. I am going to put in some of the darker areas with the Pro Point here. I don't think it's getting any cooler in here. This ring light puts off actually quite a bit of a light and I think a little bit of heat too. Alrighty, let's switch over to the shading point. Okay. And then this should go pretty quick here. I can add like a little bit of shading under some of these edges to kind of break up a little bit of the monotony of the line work. Got some that I didn't put in there, huh? Where am I? There I am. It's easy to get lost in lines like this. All right, and we're going to be darker towards the top under the chin. So there's some interesting textures in here with like lateral lines. So I'm going to put those in because why not? Be kind of fun. So we have some little under feather fluff there. And let's move over to some of these intricate tidbits here. Larry says, it's too bad pyrography is not an Olympic sport. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be very neat. All right. So I'm going to kind of put in some hard edges here to outline and define our area. Oh, I didn't get that put in. You know, it seems no matter how hard you try to transfer the pattern on to the wood, there's always little tidbits that you forget. Like right in here. Oh. Thank you, Larry. That's very sweet. It's a lot of fun. And each piece is definitely a unique challenge. So here we have some more of these little fanned out feather lines. You know, we have these big fans that would be so nice right now, but I know it'd completely cool the burner down. Isn't that such a challenge? When you're cooking and you know a fan would help, but you can't when you're wood burning. Because it just pulls so much heat out of the burner. Alrighty. More of our intricate little widget up here. Jessery has a suggestion or a request. Sometime would we do a kind of study of the face as one of our live streams? We've already done the eye, but like a large close-up of the mouth, the nose, the ear, and so. That's a really good idea. I know that you had mentioned the eye, and I put that on my list, so I'm glad we got that done. Hi, Lisa. And I think that that would be a good idea to do kind of a breakdown of the different face structures. You guys like that idea? Cool. Well, I will put that on my list. There's just so many neat and unusual things that we could create. And there's so many different subject matters, animals and items and people, poses. I think it's just all so cool. There's so many things that I have not burned yet that I would love to. You struggle with the mouth to wood burn. Yeah, it can definitely be a challenge. It's good to break it down into like those abstract topography zone shapes. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, the raven, he's coming together pretty well. I am in the way again. All right, down. Cool. Yeah, I like this. This is just right up my alley as far as projects with all of the details and the shadows and the textures. I think it's so fun. All right, so we're going to kind of duck underneath here and start putting in a little bit of a shadow. And then we can kind of pull that shadow down a little bit. Although I'm going to put this in first. All right. So we'll pull our gradient down a little bit for our shadow. And then we have quite the shadow underneath here as well. There's a lot of negative space burning in this one too, where you have to burn around little things, especially that chain on the front of him. That's going to be quite the challenge. So this is definitely a good project for negative space practice. Hi, Kelly. You like the idea of the peacock next? Cool. Yeah, we will put that probably on the next project after we get done with this one. And then after the peacock, maybe we will work on like human mouth structure and see what we can do with that. So we can make this wing medallion here a little bit more realistic by adding some shadows under each lip. Helen, you're in a thunderstorm right now. Definitely be safe. If you need to go, we totally understand. Put a little shadows under this next layer of wing. Lisa, this is, the pattern is 6.5 inches wide by 11 inches tall. There is a little bit of empty space at the top, so you could, even take it down a little bit more. You don't have to have all that head space. So yeah, 6.5 by like 10, 9 or 10 would be a good size piece of wood. I was really late and finished transferring this on like at 5 today, so I was definitely running a little bit behind, and I just happened to grab a piece of wood that I had already prepped. So okay, so there's his little badge medallion thing, and we have more of the hat. All right. Okay. All right. This is looking pretty fun so far. Mellow Yellow, you had to step away for a bit. Thanks. Yeah, this is coming along pretty cool. It's got lots of different dynamic pictures. Thanks, Lisa. Yeah, there are definitely a lot of details and fine lines in this project. I wouldn't want to do a whole lot smaller than this. That would be a bit of a challenge to go much smaller than like 6.5 inches wide or so. All right, I'm going to switch over to the other point. Jezre says I'm working really fast. Yeah, I'm cruising right along here, trying to make sure that we keep on moving. There's a lot of fine tuning that I would want to do in what we've already accomplished. Just darken up these areas and enrichen them and blend them out and all that. But I'm going to keep pushing forward here and just accomplish as much as we can tonight. So that's kind of a weird angle for me to get into there, but okay. So we have some more interesting textures here. I'm going to just kind of put in some, well, I dug in really deep there. Kind of put in some of these odd shaped little sections. Back to the funny little tidbits here. And a little bit of shadow down here at the bottom of this feather fluff. And I think I'm going to put in some more, kind of darken up the lines in this textured zone. Larry says you've never heard of steampunk. You guess it's time that you did. It's a certain kind of style. I think it's actually not so much a style of art as it is a style of fashion. Where you have steampunk involves like a lot of like gear shaped elements, intricate metal work, the old timey top hats, the big glasses and stuff like that. That's my understanding. I'm sure somebody has a better explanation of it than that, but that's kind of my understanding. Is it's more of like a time period, kind of a fashion where you take old-timey industrial type fashion and kind of combine it with like the gears and that industrial mechanical kind of a thing. Yeah, but yeah, it's neat. There's so many different elements to it. It's very creative. Okay, cool. But yeah, if somebody has a better explanation than that, please let me know, because that's just my understanding. I bet you could search it up online and get like a lot better information. So I'm adding a little touch of shading in this patchy, bumpity area. Lisa, you heard about it from watching Ink Masters. A lot of people wanted steampunk tattoos. Cool. It's pretty popular. A lot of people really like it. It's different. It's very unique. Alrighty. going to work on his eye. I just kind of noticed that I would like to touch it up a little bit here. So I'm trying to make that white outer area just a little bit more thinner and more subtle. And then I'm going to touch down the highlight a little bit as well, kind of blend the edges there. That looks a little better. Alrighty. Okay, so let's take a brief moment here and just kind of see how we're doing. Hey, that's pretty cool. This feather part here definitely needs a little bit more work. I will probably have to turn the wood sideways to get that, and then we'll touch this area up here, and then we'll keep on moving. All right. So it also has a bit more shading on either edge. I'm going to switch to this one, the shading, the Pro Point, and try to expedite here. Just follow that angle of the feathers here. So you can see there is a little bit of a highlight there in the middle, so I'm going to try to retain that and not overburn it. Okay, that's better. A little bit softer. Okay, there we go. All right. So it looks like I kind of forgot the thing on his hat. We'll hit that really quick. Thanks, Mina. Yeah, he's coming right along, I think. Just finishing up a few little tidbits in here, and then we will carry on. Okay. I'm going to soften some of these really bright areas. Although if they're really shiny metal, you'll want to keep them super bright. right, on we go. It's like he has a little sword or something behind his back. I think that's really cool. So we'll work on this area here. All right. So this bottom part here is pretty dark. And we have a little bit of a rounded element to the top part of this bauble thing. So I'm going to come down and leave a little bit of a highlight on the textured ring of this. And then we can go in it and add our line work. So anytime you have something rounded like this, the lines are going to be a little farther apart where the object is closest to you, and as it kind of wraps around, you'll want to make your lines a little bit closer together. Kind of like that. And then we have some really fun squiggle texture here. Okay, stop it. It reminds me of ice cream, guys. Like that soft serve ice cream with all the swirls. It's kind of what this reminds me of here. This is a little bit out of focus on our reference photo, so it doesn't have to be super sharp and crisp. All right. So I'm going to kind of bounce around. I need that to be a little bit cooler before I darken it much more. But a lot of these are just going to be these funny little abstract shapes. So you can just go ahead and start laying those in a nice dark value. And realize that it doesn't have to look exact or perfect, because it is just so unique. If you make a mistake on a steampunk element or artwork, no one will probably notice it but you. And I'm going to probably just add a nice light outline around our raven here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the background, so we'll just kind of go with it. Okay. All right, these circle rings are always a challenge. To get them nice and even. So we'll see how we can do with that. Have a little shadow around, looks like a rivet or something here. Lisa says a watercolor background would make the raven pop. Yeah, there's a lot of options with this one. Alcohol inks would be pretty wild and a lot of fun. You could even do like a sepia toned paint theme, keeping in with like the steampunk idea, or you could do a bright color. Yeah, I can't just do a circle very well with wood burning because this point has such an unusual tip. Once you make it partway around the circle, the point will kind of catch and dig, and it just really messes up my lines. So I just go really slow and I sketch them in like that. They're a little bit wonky and they're not very even, but you can kind of shape them up as you go and make them look a little bit more round. So I'm just kind of hitting some outlines here. Ah, Zona says a galaxy. That would be very cool too. That would be a neat background. Mm-hmm. That'd be way cool. So putting in some of the light structure work of the wing. And it's really cool because it's like a wing of armor. It's very metallic. It's like parts of him are raven and parts of him are metallic, almost like a cyborg or something. Vivian says, next week is the 100th live stream. We have to party, throw the house out the window. Oh, that sounds fun. Yep. 100 live streams. That's pretty wild, guys. We'll definitely have to have a celebration. Next week, I will have to put the live stream on Friday instead of Thursday. I need to be out of town on Thursday, so we will have our 100th live stream on next Friday. Oh, I'm getting a kink, guys, in my neck. Zona says a gradient. Yes, like the shell. That'd be cool. All right. Yes, Mina. Time to party. That's a like a monumental occasion and commitment to have 100 live streams. Oh, look at these cogs here on the shoulder wing. How cool. Hello. Lisa says, how many years has it taken to get to 100? About 2 years. So, or like a year and a half, I think. I think I just started live streams. We started them in the spring. That's a good question. Mina, when was our first live stream? I think it was in the spring, but I can't remember if it's been 2 years or 3. It has to have been 3 years then. Because there's like 56 weeks in a year, so we couldn't have done 100 live streams in 2 years. I think it's been like a year and a half. I'm sorry, 2.5 years. I think it's been 2.5 years. Because we took off several weeks during this last spring, which I hadn't done. I was pretty consistent with a live stream every week. I think since we started, we only missed like 14 weeks. And then I went on a break this spring because I was coaching. I want to say it's 2.5 years. Steve, you're gonna do some cookie baking. Oh, awesome. Mina says our first live stream was on March 25th of 2022. So yeah, it's been 2.5 years. Wow. Time flies, guys. We've done a lot of projects. Lisa, you're gonna have ice cream. Awesome. I'll need to make a cake or something. Mina, you're gonna bake a cake? Oh, that's awesome. Well, we'll have to share pictures, guys. If we can't share actual cake, we'll have to share pictures of our cake and ice cream and all that. So the farther we get away from the main focal point, it's getting a little bit blurry out here. Lisa, you like the idea of a Zoom. That would be fun, so we could chat together. That would be a lot of fun. I don't know if we would do that like before the live stream or after. I don't know, because it might be kind of late in some areas. I'm just tootling along here, guys. Just throwing in some shading here and there. Okay. All right, now we'll add in some overlapping shading. So anytime you have an overlap, you'll want to shade kind of on the underside of each one. I might add a little bit more than what we see here. but that's okay. Vivian, zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, that sounds fun. So I'm going to do a little shadow under each overlap, and then I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Kind of a gradient. So overlap and shading. Mina says dress code is formal black tie. Just kidding. I love it. Oh, that sounds fun too. Vivian is going to dress the dog up. Lisa's going to wear a tank top and shorts. Oh, it all sounds good. And raven top hats. Larry, that's a great idea. We should wear top hats for our 100th. Because we'll be working on the raven next week. Absolutely. I can't get this all done tonight. So yeah, anytime you want an overlap, just add a little bit of a drop shadow underneath and then pull a gradient outward. Steve says it would be neat to do a 100th live stream plaque for the 100th live stream. That would be very cool. I'll have to see if I can get that in a week. I'd have to get right on it. You know what else would be cool is like everybody that attends the 100th live stream, I could get like a little pin or something and send it to you. Like a little pin that says 100th or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. Or just have it available for patrons, whether you're at the 100th or not. You know, so many of you guys have been here the whole way through, so I think something for you guys would be pretty cool too. Lisa's asking, have I put out the August discount code yet? No, I have not. I will do that right away. I have it on my board to do. Vivian, you'll frame the pin. Awesome. So Steve, you say save the raven for live stream 101. Okay. So, oh, okay. So Steve, are you suggesting that our 100th live stream is just a get together and party? And then we'll resume the raven on 101. You agree with Steve? Well, we could certainly do that, guys. And just have like a big Zoom live stream party. I'm not sure how that would work, but I could try it. Something that would be neat is to like go through and do a review maybe of all of our projects that we've done over the past 100 live streams. Because I think I have most all of them. So Steve says the 100th live stream would just be a party and a plaque and a get together. That sounds fun. I guess I've got some planning to do then, huh? All right, I'm just kind of tinkering along here. I do want to add in some more of these darker edges here, so I will kind of touch up some of these edges. That's what you guys are thinking? Just kind of a party for the 100th? A celebration. Thanks for being here tonight, Terry. I hope your doggy does well each and every day. So I'm just kind of going back over these lines and touching them up, making them a little bit darker and a little bit more crisp, because some of these edges are a little bit, kind of soft and blurry. There will be only one 100th live stream. Well, that is very true, Steve. So just a little bit more fine lines here. All right, well, this is coming along well. Yeah, it needed some crisp edges there, I think, Lisa. It was a little bit too soft and fluffy. Just making sure you guys can still see here. Another thing that I was wondering is if we're going to do kind of like a get-together party, maybe I should put the 100th live stream kind of out more for like a public, like on YouTube, and just have it available to more people. Because I know that we've had a lot of people that have joined us over the years that saw it initially on YouTube. So I could open it up a little bit and invite everybody to join in. What do you think about that? All right, I darkened that a little too. Okay. All right, next. Vivian says we should call the raven Steely Dan. That, I think, matches him very well. Lisa, you like that idea because you you joined from literally just catching you one night. Oh, so you just caught me one night on the live streams on YouTube. That's way cool. You did too, Vivian? Oh, that's so awesome. All right, so we have some really neat, almost like little circle things here. These are cool. If I can get them in there very well. We'll kind of darken up the edge here a bit more. It is fun to name the characters, huh? Everybody has the best ideas for names. Yeah, Rich has some great names too, doesn't he? Lisa says, you think that going live for all also helps people see that you are by hand and not laser. Yeah, absolutely. Yep. There's a lot of laser stuff out there nowadays. But it just, I think handmade artwork will always have its place. Because people, when they seek out an artist for something special, they want it done usually by hand because it's more significant. Some people, if they just want like a little itty bitty token or something, they might go with the laser stuff. But if it's more meaningful, a lot of times they'll go and choose the handmade artwork because it is so much more special and unique. Well, guys, I have a whole lot of planning to do between now and next week, huh? So I'll see what I can do as far as getting like some pins or something for you guys to have to kind of commemorate our 100th live stream. Right. So let's take just a brief minute here and kind of take a look. Hey guys, that's looking fun. I'll continue working probably here on the little circle things next. But this is very detailed, which I love. I just love the details. No, Larry, you've not overburdened me at all. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And we'll figure out a great way to celebrate the 100th and make a nice little social event out of it. Zona says you wish that they would understand that hand burn is more costly than a laser. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, it is. And I think if anybody kind of really understands how much it takes to do handwork art, they'll know that it takes more time. If they don't understand it, you probably are kind of barking up the wrong tree as far as a sale. Because like so many people, if you want a photo of somebody, just take a photo. If you want to commemorate something, just take a picture, print it out at Walmart and hang it on the wall. But if you want something more unique and special, like a gift or a memorial piece or something like that, you're going to seek out someone that can make it more special than just a picture that you printed out and hung on the wall. Or somebody that just did a laser thing and hung it on the wall. So there will always be an audience that will buy art. I know times are really tough right now, though. It is a different world, and everything is so expensive that, you know, you have to put priorities for food and bills and stuff like that. So what I would say to artists during a time like this is kind of build your inventory. Build up your projects and everything so that when things turn around and the economy is better, then you can go out and you have a ton of work to sell at that time, and people are more happy to buy stuff at that time. And I know that we still need to pay bills as we go, but I try to, you know, stay busy and store up some inventory for when times are good. Because art is always up and down. So just keep working and keep making inventory and keep getting better and more skilled. And then when the times come back around, people will always be there to buy art. And Mina says, yeah, it's not only the time that you took to do the art, but the whole time it took you to learn as well. And that's why people that have been doing art for longer can often charge more, because it is like a buildup of, you know, time involved. You know, how long did this piece take? You shouldn't really say 20 hours. You should really say, you know, 2 years or 5 years or 10 years, 40 years, however long you've actually been an artist is how long, how long that you actually took to create the artwork. Vivian, next week you're going to wear your Wood Burning University shirt. Nice. Very good. I need to get one. I don't have a shirt. I have my cup. I have my like every live stream, I love my cup. I have a mug and a cup and a mouse pad. I'm using a mouse pad. But I need a t-shirt too. Zona, you're in an art show and there's some amazing work. One painting is $35,000. Isn't that amazing? I know. And there are people that will buy it. And that's the coolest thing. My dad, as many of you know, he's a professional oil painter. And it is, you know, he can do one big painting and charge a lot for it. And it's so cool. But it takes him a long time to do those. They're like 6 foot by 8 foot, big, beautiful pieces. And it's worthy of every penny that he charges. And there are people that just come up and they'll just drop down massive amounts of money like that because it's important to them. So as artists, we just keep working and find someone that loves our art. And that's what we do. All right, so just doing a little bit of gentle line work here around these circles. It's hard without turning the wood. I might put in some shadows up here. And we have some more shadows underneath this. This is definitely one of my favorite things to do, guys, is the intricate details. It is so fun. And how you can create the shading and the depth just by overlapping and dropping in a shadow here and there. It is just so fun and so cool. Wow. Zona, you're saying that piece that you were talking about is 40 by 40. Oil canvas. Oh, it's so cool. I love those. I'm definitely partial to canvas and oil painting because that's what my dad does, oils. Oh, Lisa says this is one of those ones that you could spend hours detailing. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going pretty quick on this one, and I'm very pleased at how much we've been able to accomplish tonight. But I will definitely go back over it and work on it again and again until it's a little bit more fine-tuned. Some of the edges are not as crisp as I would like, and I definitely need to push the shading darker, but it's coming right along. Thanks, Laura. Alrighty, let's take a little step back here and see what we've got. My arm is all locked up. Alright, this is looking pretty good, guys. Let's zoom over and refocus for you. There we go. Alright, so this is really fun. I encourage you all to tackle this project if you want to. Lots of textures. The overlapping, the shading is a great learning project. And like I said, if you don't get the cogs and all that stuff just right, don't worry about it. Just make it your own, and it'll be fantastic and a great learning experience. So, okay, well, I have a lot to think about for next week for our 100th live stream. I love all your ideas, and I'm very excited to kind of put those into play. So thanks for being here tonight and enjoying this time as we create this steampunk raven. All right, well, I will see you guys again next week. Remember, I will not have the live stream Thursday, but I will have it Friday, next Friday. All right, same time though. All right, thanks guys. Good night.